This is my 9th lecture on group theory for first SEM students of honors and DSCs. I am Ms. Ranjana Datta from Graduate School College for Women, Department of Mathematics. Now, today we are going to study complexes and subgroup of a group. Now, what is complex? Suppose G is a group and the group composition has been denoted multiplicatively. Combination is multiplicatively. Any non-empty subset H of a group G. Any non-empty subset H of a G is called a complex of the group G. Let now it be there be a group and suppose H is closed with respect to the composition in G. Then if A belongs to H and B belongs to H, this implies AB should also belongs to H. Then we say that the complex H is stable for the composition in G and that the composition in G has induced a composition in H. Now, subgroup. What is the difference between complex and subgroup? Subgroup, a non-empty subset H of G, is said to be a subgroup of G if the composition in G is also composition in H. That means if in G we take the multiplication composition, then in H also the subset of a G that is in H also composition should be same. And for this composition, H itself is a group. That is, H should be also it should be also a group with respect to the same operation, where H is the subset of G. Every subgroup of G is a complex. Note that every subgroup of G is a complex, but every complex is not always a subgroup. Now, every set is a subset of itself. Every set is a subset of itself. Therefore, if G is a group, then G itself is the subgroup of G. Also, if E is the identity element of G, then the subset of G containing only one element, that is E, that is the identity element, is subgroup of G. These two are subgroups of any group. They are called trivial or improper subgroups. Now the theorems. First, the identity of a subgroup is the same as the identity of the group. Suppose G is a group with identity E and H be a subgroup of the G. Then let E and E dash be the identities of H, G and H respectively. If A belongs to H, this implies E dash A is equal to A because E dash is the identity element of H. Now also A belongs to H, this implies A belongs to G. This implies EA is equal to A because E is the identity of G. In G, we have E dash is equal to E into A, and this implies E dash is equal to A by right cancellation law. Number 2, the inverse of any element of a subgroup is the same as the inverse of the same regarded as an element of the group. That is, if let E be the identity of the group G and as well as the identity of H. Now let A belongs to H. Suppose B is the inverse of A in H and C is the inverse of A in G. So we can write as BA is equal to CA because BA is equal to E and CA also equal to E. So we can write BA is equal to CA. Using the right cancellation law, we can say that B is equal to C. So it can also be easily proved number 3. That is the order of any element of a subgroup is the same as the order of the element regarded as a member of the group. Now, take some examples. The multiplicative group containing two elements, 1 and -1, is a subgroup of the multiplicative group containing four elements, 1, -1, I, and -I. Mind it, to be a subgroup, the elements should be element of the subgroup should be the element of G and G the operation in H is also the same operation as in G. So given some example and you see next. Criteria for a complex to be a subgroup. A non-empty subset H of G is a subgroup of G if and only if A belongs to H, B belongs to H. This implies AB belongs to H. And number 2, A belongs to H implies A inverse belongs to H, where A inverse is the inverse of A in G. Suppose H is a subgroup of G, then H must be closed with respect to the multiplication, that is the composition in G. Therefore, A belongs to H and B belongs to H. This implies AB also belongs to H. Let A belongs to H and let A inverse be the inverse of A in G. This then an inverse of A in H is also A inverse. Since H itself is a group, therefore each element of H must possesses inverse. Therefore, A belongs to H. This implies A inverse also belongs to H. Because H is a subgroup, if an element A belongs to H, A inverse also should belongs to H to be H a subgroup. Now the conditions are satisfied. Since A belongs to H, B belongs to H, AB belongs to H. Therefore, it is closed with respect to the multiplication. Now, associative property, the elements of H are also the elements of G. The composition in G is associative, hence the composition in H are also associative. Existence of identity, the identity of the subgroup of A is same as the identity of the group. A belongs to H and A inverse also belongs to H from the given condition. A belongs to H, A inverse belongs to H, that is A inverse also belongs to H, that is E belongs to H, that is identity element of H. Now, the existence of inverse. For A belongs to H, A inverse belongs to H. Therefore, each element of H possesses inverse. Hence, H itself is a group for the composition in G. So, H is a subgroup of G. Now, another theorem. A necessary and sufficient condition for a non-empty subset H of a group G to be a subgroup is that if A belongs to H, B belongs to H, AB inverse also belongs to H, where B inverse is the inverse of B in G. The condition necessary, suppose H is a subgroup of G, then A belongs to G, A belongs to H, and B belongs to H. Now, each element of H must possesses inverse because H itself is a group. So, B belongs to H. This implies B inverse also belongs to H because H is a subgroup. H is a subgroup. Further, H must be closed with respect to the multiplication, that is the composition in G. Therefore, A belongs to H, B belongs to H means B inverse also belongs to H, and these two together gives us AB inverse is belongs to H. Now the condition sufficient. It is given that A belongs to H, B belongs to H. This implies AB inverse belongs to H. We have to prove that H is a subgroup of G. Now, A belongs to H and A belongs to H. This implies A inverse belongs to H according to the given condition. This implies E belongs to H. So, E is the identity element of the group. Now, existence of inverse. Because is an element of H, then by the given condition E belongs to H, A belongs to H, this implies EA inverse also belongs to H. This implies A inverse belongs to H. So if A belongs to H, A belongs to H, this implies A inverse also belongs to H. This is the existence of inverse. Now we will prove the closure property. Let AB belongs to H, then we can see that B belongs to H. This implies B inverse belongs to H. Now, B inverse belongs to H. That means the inverse of B inverse also belongs to H. This two together gives us A into inverse of B inverse belongs to H is equal to A. This implies AB belongs to H. Now, associative property. The element of H are the elements of G, and G is associative with respect to the given condition. Therefore, it is associative with respect to H also. Hence, H itself is a group for the composition in G. Therefore, H is a subgroup of G. We denote the composition in G. If we denote the composition in G additively, then A belongs to H and B belongs to H will imply that A minus B belongs to H. In case of multiplication, we write it as B inverse belongs to H, but in case of addition, we write A minus B belongs to H. And we have given two corollaries here, a necessary and sufficient condition for a non-empty subset H of a group G to be a subgroup is that H inverse is a subset of H, and another is a necessary and sufficient condition for a non-empty subset H of a group G to be a subgroup is that H inverse is equal to H. Please read it and read it. So, girls, today this much only. Thank you.